morning, everybody. I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope you're all well and safe and happy. And I really appreciate all your love and support and all the outpouring of comments and hearts and cares from my last video. And everybody said they wanted a new video update on me, so I'm giving you one. And I really appreciate that. When I don't know if everybody knows this, but I'm an orphan. I don't have a family, and I lost my dad. It was about 2.5 years ago. It was February 10th, 2018. He had congestive heart failure, and he had kidney failure. And they were both, kidney failure was stage 3 or 4, and it was because he had diabetes, and he was on insulin. And he was living for me mostly, but it's a long story, but it's very sad, but he'd be proud how well I'm doing, and he'd be very happy. I have an Uncle Bruce Gold who found me on Facebook and became my adopted uncle, and he's my spiritual healer. And he'd shake his hand, and he'd give him a big hug, and he'd have tears in his eyes for all he's done for me, because nobody else stepped up to the plate like Uncle Bruce. Nobody else became that involved and became like family and wanted to help me. And I love him so much, and I'm sure my parents love him too. And the anniversary of my mom's death is coming up. It's September 11th. I was always kind of mad she had to share September 11th with all the 911 people who died. I wanted her to have more of a special day of her own, but it's September 11th, 2016. It's going to be our 4th anniversary of that. And also, John Ritter died September 11th, I believe, 2002. So there's a great man who died on that day, so it's a good day, but I wish she didn't have to die, and she didn't want to die. And I remember it was a terrible hospice. We tried to get her in a better one, but we couldn't, and she was too sick to take home at the time. She really needed to be in a hospital, but actually she died of sepsis because she had an infection that they didn't tell us about, and they didn't treat her right, and she should have been admitted to the hospital, because my dad made it clear he wanted everything done to make sure she could live as long as possible. But she died of sepsis at Montefiore Hospital. I don't blame Montefiore. I kind of blame Calvary Hospital. They didn't really brush her teeth, or they didn't listen to us, and it was hard to be there all the time. It was an hour away, and my dad was sick at White Plains Hospital with he had cellulitis on his legs, and they were all puffy and swollen. It's part of his diabetes. He didn't have good circulation, but it's been very hard, all of that. I don't think everybody knows all the details. But the Calvary called us at 12 midnight, and I was very sick that day. I wasn't able to eat. I had a bad sore throat. Larry had got me some Capri Sun juice boxes, like diet ones, and stuff for my throat, and I was having Snapple. I was sleeping most of the day. I probably wouldn't have been able to go, but I didn't know. The day before, I was begging for her to be able to come home. And my dad, I was trying to convince him because I missed her, and I knew she wanted to come home. But my dad didn't think we could take care of her properly, and she'd need too much medical assistance. And I begged my dad to let me go see her, and so did Larry, because they said she wasn't doing well and she wasn't responsive. And I was so excited. I was happy I was going to get to go see her again, and I missed her. So I changed my clothes, and the time we left was about 1 in the morning, and my dad couldn't come with us. He's on oxygen, and the oxygen tank, that it wouldn't have lasted that long. It was an hour away just to get there. And the roads were empty. We were going down the highway, and we're listening to music, and then one of the songs I was playing was 1,000 Miles. And that's like, I'd go 1,000 miles to see you. And it was very ironic and meaningful, that song. And I remember that clearly. And then I'm like, Beverly Berman's story is almost over. And my name's Christian Berman, I'm her daughter, but my page was Beverly Berman. I first went on Facebook because I missed her at the hospice, but that's another story. So we were going to the hospice, And